All right, so we got all these Black Lives Matters protests going on. A lot of crazy shit in the world going on right now. Mind rendering to think, you get a lot of people that are out here just going crazy, acting stupid, being ridiculous. People meeting up, want to fight, jump to conclusions, not doing their homework first. Um, Sorry about the my sitting. I'm actually redoing my house right now. So anyway, I'm supposed to work today, and it's raining, so I'm going to work inside my house. At any rate, these Black Lives Matters protests. All right. To begin with, they're wrong for a multitude of reasons. I think some of it has the right intention. I do agree. But when you say all lives matters, they get mad. Like, no, only Black Lives Matter. It's essentially what they're saying by getting mad. Like, they should be like, yeah, you're right. All lives matters. Okay, no big deal. That just goes to feed the narrative of what it is. They Don Lemon, which is a race baiting entitled cockroach, was talking with Terry Crews. And with Terry Crews, now I respect that dude after hearing what he had to say. And Don Lemon just went left talk, kept talking over him, like he tries to do to everybody. He even tried to argue with David Clark. Man, come on, Sheriff David Clark. That dude he's legit. He knows his stuff, man. Anyway, so Don Lemon's like, well, no, because Terry Crews started bringing up a lot of very, very good points. Black Lives Matter, but what about all the shootings where blacks are killing blacks and all this and that? And he goes, well, no, you should call it Black Lives Matter. It should be called this and this and that, something else. I can't remember what he said. No. Black Lives Matters should be all Black Lives Matters under any circumstance. All right, the biggest killer of black people is abortion. You should be protesting abortion, for one. But it doesn't fit your narrative. So the other thing is you should be protesting every single time that somebody's shot. That little 1 or 2 month old baby was shot because of stray bullet, gang violence. 13-year-old girl dancing with her mom. Come on, man. That doesn't bother you? Like, more people are dying that way. Thousands and thousands and thousands. 9,000 people last year. Black people last year died that way. All right? And you want to protest police brutality on black people. I agree within certain realms of stuff with what you're trying to say, but it's not a race thing. Now, yes, there are racist cops out there. We know that. But that is not the epidemic. That is not the problem in the system. That is not what needs to be fixed. I mean, that is not what needs to be focused on. What needs to be focused on are corrupt cops. It's more of a power trip thing, because I do know white people, and I have been on the receiving end of an arrogant piece of crap, power-hungry police officer. But, I didn't get my ass beat because of one thing that I did not do. One thing. And one thing I did do. One thing that I did do was I complied. As much as I want to smack him upside the head, you can't. It's the law, regardless. He might be stepping on and above his realms of what he's allowed to do, but you know what? It makes you look like the aggressor. It makes you look stupid. It makes you look entitled. All right? The other thing I did not do was resist arrest. I just went to jail and I had it dealt with. All right? So, I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, I never had any problems. I've never made any mistakes. Because I have. We all have. It's part of humanity. But I was raised to respect authority, respect my elders. That is one of the main things that is a problem in this country today, is that our youth does not respect their elders. They spit in the faces of their own parents, for crying out loud. Men that have kids and leave them in fatherless homes because they're losers, man. If you have a kid, I don't have any kids because I never found the right woman. I always worked and that was held against me. Yeah, so on and so forth. Whatever. You don't have a kid and not take care of it. Even if you don't stay with that person, that mother, take care of that kid. The choice that you have is pull out or wrap it up. It's not that complicated. But no, I don't care because our system feeds into that crap. Like they're feeding into this Black Lives Matter because it's a democratic narrative. All right? It should be called Black Lives Matters. It should be called, because the only thing you're protesting are officers killing career criminals who resist arrest. All right? Now, there have been instances where officers have done wrong. Now, the George Floyd thing, the guy was a piece of shit. He held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach when they were in her house, home invasion. All right? How would you feel if your wife, your mom, your sister, your daughter, your cousin, your aunt was pregnant in their house and somebody broke in, pistol whipped her, from what I understand? I don't know if those are facts or not, but nonetheless, I do know from what I understand that the holding the gun to the stomach and the breaking and entering and armed robbery was all legitimate. He did prison time. He was in and out of jail. He was a career criminal, all right? He was a piece of shit as a human being. Karma got him. Now, I will say, that cop, I saw that video. That cop had that look in his eye. He wanted to kill that man. That was murder. That cop does deserve to go to prison for that. But Rayshard Brooks, down there, that dumb son of a bitch, Georgia law, a taser is considered a deadly weapon. All right? He was resisting arrest. He assaulted a police officer. He was fleeing and eluding. And then he turned around and assaulted the police officer with deadly force. That cop had every single reason to shoot him. If you go, oh, he shot him in the back. At first, when I heard it, because I guess he said, oh, I got him. Yeah, he got him because he's running like he's in the heat of the moment, man. Like, kind of, these cops have an obligation, a legal obligation. People are like, well, they had his car. They knew where he lived. You think that guy's going to go home? He's got a taser. He can go tase other people. It's crazy. Out of his fucking mind. And had he went and hurt somebody, killed somebody, God forbid, then you think for a second that family wouldn't have sued those officers because you let them go? Why didn't you shoot them? Why didn't you detain them? You're damned if they do, damned if they don't. And I'm sorry, but those police officers should not be being tried down there. The ones that killed George Floyd, they should all be tried because they allowed it to happen. You have to stay within reason, within your legal rights to even push the law as an officer. So when you protest stuff like that, 34 people died unarmed, all right? I'm sorry, but if you are an armed, resisting arrest career criminal and you get shot by the police, it's your own goddamn fault, man. And yes, I said it funny because I was trying to pull back saying it, and it was too late. But it's your own fault. You don't resist arrest. I mean, it's common sense, man. You don't assault a police officer, whether he's in or out of his realms of duty, law. It'd be different if you saw him beating the hell out of your mom, your sister, or beating the hell out of one of your family members, roughing them up. I could see you having to take that initiative and just, sorry, can't let you beat the hell out of a loved one. I could see in a situation like that. That would be a tough situation. But when you're just get in a fucking cop car and go to jail and deal with it in court like a civil human being. So then you get these people that are protesting a career criminal that was murdered by a cop. Okay, I get that. Give it a chance. The guy's being tried. 3 of the officers, I think, are being tried. Give it a chance. Let justice pay out. And then even at that, Martin Luther King never rioted. I don't know his exact words, but Martin Luther King even said that things need to be done within a peaceful manner. Protest within a peaceful manner. All right? You don't riot and loot and destroy shit because you're entitled. That is a crybaby mentality. That's all that is. Oh, somebody got hurt. Oh, I happen to have the same skin color. You know what? At the end of the day, we all have the same goddamn blood. Because there are black people out there, you know who I feel? 2024. Yeah, I'm a Republican. And the two people that I want to run for president, vice president, and I've said this before all this bullshit was going on. Ben Carson, Dr. Ben Carson, and Colonel Alan West. Look them up. Two of the most intelligent human beings on the face of this planet. Look them up. If you don't know who they are, that's probably half the reason why you're incompetent. These are very intelligent human beings. All right? I won't tell you their skin color because it doesn't matter. They're intelligent and they're good for this country. Now, outside of that, let's go back to entitlement. Black Lives Matter should be called, what they're protesting should be called Black Criminal Lives Who Want to Resist Arrest Lives Matter. That's what you're pushing. That's the narrative you're pushing. And that's all the rest of us are trying to say. Yes, I agree. If an officer abuses his power and kills these people unjustly, yes, they should be put in prison. That officer that killed George Floyd needs to be put in prison, even though George Floyd's a piece of shit, but that officer still murdered him. And the other ones were accomplices because they allowed it to happen, they could have stopped it. Not everything's right on one side and everything's wrong on the other. Life doesn't work like that. You have little things that are they're right here, but they're not so right here, and then the other side, they're right here and they're wrong there. The only thing that's really wrong are Democrats. There's no such thing as a good Democrat. You have an ignorant Democrat and you have a goddamn corrupt Democrat. The ones that are not ignorant, they're smart enough to know that they're not supposed to be Democrats. It's to the republic for which you stand. We live in a republic, not a democracy. You know what democracy is? Where, okay, you work for a living. I don't. All right, so I feel I don't have a car. I'm going to break in yours. I'm going to take yours. I'll bring it back when I want. It might not be in one piece. I'll bring it back. That's democracy. You have one, I don't, even though I didn't want to work for mine. In a republic, what is yours is yours. I don't have any rights to it. What is mine is mine. You don't have a right to it. All right? In a republic, there are a certain set bill of rights. Human rights. The Constitution, the right to remain silent, the right to not be tortured while captive in jail. All right? They can't torture you to hear what they want. Now imagine this. This is in a republic. No, in a democracy. I'm going to explain it this way. Say you live in a town that has 10,000 people, but 9,000 people think that, you know what? I don't think somebody has the right. I think if they get arrested, our police officers should be allowed to torture them until they say what we want to hear. Okay, well, 9,000 people vote that because 9,000 people have a sick, twisted mind. Which is not unbelievable nowadays because all these fucking Black Lives protesters, these abortion supporters, these Democrats are all fucking deluded. And the numbers are growing because we're teaching these people at a young age to be irresponsible. So then as they grow, they teach their kids to be irresponsible. Do you see this? This is a vicious cycle. This is what the Democrats are doing because they can't beat us because they don't believe in guns. We Republicans do. We believe in righteousness, values, and guns to support ourselves, not to hurt people. But what are they going to come fight us with if they want to have a war? Are they going to come with us with dildos? Because that's what Democrats support, are the weirdos, the men pissing with little girls. Oh, yeah, they're come swinging dildos at us, throwing bricks through our windows. You'll never win a war with us. Not that I want that to happen, I don't. But I'm just saying, and they know this. So they're going to try doing it by corrupting the minds of the youth. And eventually, when you're taught something for 20 years of your life, 30 years of your life, 40 years, that's all you know. Then everything else seems wrong. So then you teach kids the same thing. So eventually you try to weed out the Republicans, the intelligent people, the people that actually have values. You weed them out because eventually they will die off. Their kids will still be there, but the numbers will, because there's two ways to make a slave. You work them and don't pay them. The other one is to pay them and don't work them, which is the system writers, right? Then they vote for the Democrats. So then, of course, they get free hand-me-out money. So then they're going to vote your way. So eventually you have so many people that go your way, and the people that actually work their asses off are dying off because they're not having kids quick enough, because people like myself decided to work my ass off instead of having a kid out of wedlock and not have my shit together and living on the system. I didn't want any of that. I wanted to get my shit together first and have the right woman. Now I'm pushing 40 and no kids. So that's what a lot of Republicans do, because we're responsible human beings. So what's going on with that then is that now eventually you're trying to win a war of longevity by kind of weeding out the strength, weeding out the strong ones, by overpopulating with zombies, basically. The zombie apocalypse is happening. It's Democrats. Liberal derangement. That's your zombies. All right? So, you teach this entitlement. And now you have all this Black Lives Matters and, oh, they got to have it their way. Well, he should be allowed to resist arrest because cops ain't allowed to do this and do that. This is America. We still have laws to follow. I'm bouncing around a little bit. I'm sorry, I'm a little worked up. 34 people in 2019 were unarmed, killed by police officers. 34. 9 were black men. Or black. I don't know if they're all men, but they're black. Resisting arrest. 16 were white, and the other 9 were minorities. 16 white people were killed, unarmed people were killed by police officers, probably resisting arrest, what have you. You don't look at the criminal records of these people, what these police officers, when they run that license plate, and say, oh, this car is stolen. Well, the guy wasn't armed, and the cop shot him, but do you look at the fact that he may have resisted arrest? No, you just look at the fact that black skin color, cop killed him. That's all that matters. You don't look at everything else. That's not the epidemic. The epidemic, yes, there are police that need to be taken care of, that need to have better training or taken off the force. That officer that killed George Floyd had, I think, 17 total charges against him at some point. He shouldn't have been on the police force anymore. That does need to be addressed, but it's not a skin color thing. With a few, there might be. But there's millions of encounters with police and civilians yearly. And it doesn't get ugly. It doesn't result in death. Now, if there's 1,600 deaths by police officers on people, all the other ones were armed. What do you expect them to do? Well, they have families they go home to. They don't know now whether they're allowed to arrest somebody because, man, if I don't shake his hand and say, hey, sir, nice to meet you. I know you just robbed this house, but can I take you to jail? That's how pathetic you are making it. It's insane. My brain can't slow down to think at your level. It's why I bounce around with what I'm saying. I can't think at your mind concept. It's thought. And we try to rationalize with you. You guys just get violent. You know why you don't see Republicans out there fucking protesting and all this crap? Because we have jobs. We're responsible. We're working. Guess what? We'll make up for it when it comes election time. Donald Trump, 2020, will win. And I will fight and defend at all costs my president, my politicians, and my police force. They're there to support us, defend us. When somebody's kicking your door in, you're calling 911. If your Black Lives Matters, don't fucking call 911. You better let them rape you, because he's a black man. I'm just saying hypothetically, if he was. Oh, his life matters. Can't have the cops come arrest him. That's how stupid your mentality is. Yes, Black Lives Matters. All lives matters. But there's also a certain time with the protest bullshit. That's why I don't do... That flag stands for so much. Yeah, you go, oh, there's a couple soldiers that say, yeah, we fought for our right to do that. And all. Yeah, they did. You're right. It doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. All right? It does, just like there's certain things that, in certain ways that you just don't protest. Martin Luther King never broke anything. He never stood for that shit. He pissed off about that shit. And then you talk about, oh, well, the protesters, we're just protesting peacefully. The ones that are rioting and breaking stuff, that's not part of our group. Bullshit. Right? Just like George Floyd, right? That police officer had his knee on his neck. You say, oh, those other police officers should have stopped him, right? I agree. Yes, they should. That's why I think every one of them should be charged. Pull them off. Dude, knock it off. Dude, you're going to kill the man. You cannot legally put your knee on the back of somebody's neck. The same way that you protesters, if you're doing it peacefully and you get rioters and looters, if they're not part of your group, then why don't you stop them? No, because you like what they're doing. You just don't have the backbone and spine to stand up and be stupid like they are. You ain't tough enough, is what it ultimately comes out to. You're scared. You're afraid of getting hurt. No, be tough and say, look, Martin Luther King would have said, I will not stand for that. He said that. I do not stand for demolishing, destruction of property. The best way to protest is do it with respect, in a respectful manner. That's why you're not getting any respect. You're destroying shit. And then when you do get Trump supporters, you guys will say, oh, they're white supremacists. Trump, this is another conversation. It's not a racist. He is a responsible, intelligent man who has a job to get done and does not believe in entitlement. That's why you Democrats. You don't believe in, or he believes in responsibility. Yeah, he believes in responsibility, not entitlement. You guys believe in entitlement, not responsibility. I've dealt with you guys my whole life while working 80 to 100 hours a week. Destroyed. Look at that. Look at that hand. Look at that. Look at that hand. Look how destroyed that hand is. Not even 40 years old. That's from fucking working for a living, man. Tendonitis in my elbows from working, motherfuckers. I've dealt with these lazy motherfuckers that are half my age now that came and two of them came and work as half as hard as me. Really? You guys, the devil's taking over, and that's you guys. Well, they're taking you guys over. All right? You don't believe in all this religion, whatever. I'm agnostic too, but you know what? There is evil in this world, and it's you, and it needs to be stopped. You will not. Good always prevails. That's why, at the end of the day, I can sleep at night because the good always prevails. It might endure a lot of pain and bullshit and headache, but good always prevails. That's why Hitler was taken out. Think about it. Hitler started by convincing people that guns are bad. He stripped everybody of guns, convinced them to let them go. And then guess what? He went into houses with his militant forces that were scared of him because they were the bad ones, like the bad Democrats. Stripped all the people, their own families, of these guns. And then went in there and forced them into gas chambers. They had no way to defend themselves. Think about it. Think about that. All right? Holocaust. That's what Democrats are trying to do now. Get you to surrender your guns, convince you they're bad, and then execute people. Why do you think we have the Second Amendment? Guns are for good people, though they still get in the hands of bad people. Unfortunately, we have some 300 million people in the United States and some 300 million guns. And how many gun crimes? A couple thousand a year. Every one of them, just about, are criminals that aren't supposed to have those guns. Yes, there are people that should not have guns. But guess what? They're getting them illegally anyway. So, all right, we'll make guns illegal. That'll get rid of gun shooting. Just the same way that making drugs illegal got rid of drug addicts, right? Think about it like this too. Well, we're going to punish the other 100 million Americans who are law-abiding gun owners by taking their guns so that way no crimes can be committed and yada, yada, yada. So that the few idiots, criminals that will still get these guns from the Mexicans that you want to come over here with no border wall and the Cubans and everybody else, bringing them over. They're going to get them. The same way with the drugs. See how this works? I might have to slow down so you understand me. Think about it like this. What you're proposing on the gun thing. Let's take guns away from all these law-abiding citizens because guns can kill people. Because of the few thousand criminals that break the law that we're not supposed to have guns to begin with anyway. It's the same exact thing as saying all automobiles should be taken from everybody because of the few thousand drunk drivers that kill innocent people every year. They should never thought about that because your brain don't work like that. And you'll still find a way to negate this because you're too stupid to understand common sense. You guys are definitely zombies. You're that stupid. You realize that, right? The zombie apocalypse. This is it. Marching. I don't need your brain. I want to take your guns. You guys are zombies. Democrats, liberals, libtards, Democrats. Fucking zombie apocalypse. Black Lives Matters. Change the name to Black criminals who want to resist arrest. Lives matter. That's what you're protesting. That's what it should be called. Otherwise, Don Lemon's wrong. He's, this should be changed. No. Black Lives Matters is very cut and dry. You're right. Black lives do matter. But you can't say, Black Lives Matters, but we're not going to go protest somebody that just, a black gangbanger that just shot this innocent kid or robbed this 80-year-old lady. No, you won't protest that because it doesn't fit your objective. It actually kind of contradicts your objective. All right? Your motive looks diminished when you start defending that because then you're like, man, how do I go about this? And your brains aren't advanced enough to think like that. See, the Republicans, the smart people, the responsible people are a minority because they're intelligent. Because if you actually go up, the average human being is around 115 IQ. Then it starts dropping. The percentage of intelligent people drops. Like Einstein was a 2 percentile or 1 percentile, 160 IQ. Very, very low percentage of those people because it's so rare that people are that intelligent. All right. Same thing with responsibility. It's easy to be lazy. Like I said, there's 2 ways to make a slave. The government they know they can't force you into working without paying you now. These Democrats will force you into paying you without working you, and that creates a slave the other way. And you will always vote whatever they want because you're given a handout. And entitled, it doesn't matter. You can't reconcile with you people. This shit's just crazy, man. You guys need to wake up. You're trying to. You'll never win. You'll never win this fucking thing you're trying to do. War on peace. Trump was a man of peace. He's outspoken. He's just that tough stepdad that stepped in and said, I'm tired of this little asshole child that disrespects his mom. See, that's what I want to get into real quick, and I'm going to close this with the whole thing with the protests. There's certain things, all these soldiers and stuff, it is disrespectful when you kneel, all right? You have the right to do it, but it doesn't mean it's not disrespectful. You have the right to not listen to your mother. I don't even cuss in front of my mother. I've been alive for 4 decades. That woman gave birth to me. Who the hell cusses in front of their mother like a damn sailor? That woman gave birth to you, carried you for 9.5 months, and you're going to talk like an a-hole to her? I'm sorry. That's one of the biggest problems. That's where it starts right there. There's no respect within the family, within the household. You don't protest your mother. So you're going to protest some bullshit by pushing this narrative of Black Lives Matter. You're going to protest the flag because we want equal justice and all that. And look at all these famous black people, these these athletes and stuff. All right, they did it. Look at Ben Carson. He did it without education, man. I mean, without, not education, income. Lived in Detroit, Michigan. Grew up, his mom made him and his brother read a book a week. And he grew up during the oppressive times. He grew up during the times where blacks had to sit at the back of the bus and all that stupid bullshit. And I say stupid because that's stupid. I hate racism. I don't look at somebody for skin color. Why does, this nice black guy help me out to change my tire, yada yada. Why do you have to say, what does it even matter? I have to say the skin color. Why can't you say that? This nice person to help me out. Yeah, stop that on the road, help me out. It doesn't matter what skin color they are. That's the shit that pisses me off. It goes both ways. You know, like people that try not to be it, but they are. And you're pushing a racist narrative when you feel the need to press somebody's skin color to explain the situation. People can do that and not realize they're doing it. But they need to wake up. Like you guys need to wake up. But there's certain times you don't protest. Certain ways you do. I mean, certain ways you do and don't protest. You don't protest that flag. That flag gave you the right to be able to protest. So as a respect for it, you stand. And your piece of shit fucking Colin Kaepernick took a knee because a military guy said, well, if you're going to sit on the bench, at least take a knee. Then you could, you know, he fucked up because he lost a starting job to, so happened to be a white man at that time. And he was throwing a cop-out fit that he always does. And anybody that knows Colin Kaepernick, and that's what I call him because he's a fucking asshole. Piece of shit. Now, if I ever meet him, I'm going to knock him out, break his jaw, and I'm going to kiss that bicep right over his fucking head. Fucking piece of shit, coward, cocksucking communist. And, we're oppressed, but you wear a fucking Fidel Castro fucking shirt, one of the biggest oppressors of all time. Fucking idiot, dude. Dude that's had a silver spoon put in his mouth and given to him. He was never a good quarterback. He was all right. He got lucky because Alex Smith had a bad season. Ooh. Anyway, he sat down to be disrespectful because he lost his starting position. And he took it, and then he decided, well, let me take a knee and promote black injustice and all this shit. Bullshit. Crybaby is what he is. Piece of shit is what he is. And then Trump makes a comment saying, yeah, if they take a knee, they shouldn't play. He's right. Get the fuck out of the country. So also, Trump's a bad man. Your fucking Democratic piece of shit Obama who wanted to put men with little girls in the bathrooms, fucking sick fuck. Oh, he did not. Yes, he did. Look it up. 2016. All over the place. Trying to say you can piss in whatever bathroom you identify as. No. If you got a dick, you're a man. If you have both, I understand. You can't help that. You're born that way. Hey, you got to go somewhere. But Bruce Jenner is Bruce Jenner. It's a he, not a she. It's not Caitlyn Jenner. You can change your name all you want. You piss in the men's bathroom. I don't care if you look like a woman. You're a man. Or do it unisex bathroom. That's cool. Hey, that's fine. Whatever. Cool with that. But if you're born with both, that's not their fault. I'm not going to judge those people. They were born like that. They can't help it. But protest the flag just because you can do it doesn't mean it's the right way to do it. And Nean doesn't do shit. Stand up and speak, man. March. Don't riot. Don't break shit. March peacefully. But listen to objectives. Listen to people in their what they're trying to put out there, and don't automatically assume that every single thing that a person says is aggressive towards what you're doing. Dr. Martin Luther King was a very intelligent man. He had a very open mind. He wasn't hateful. His point was being that black people were being really oppressed at the time. They really were. They weren't allowed to vote. They weren't allowed to sit in front of the bus. All this shit had to drink separate fountains. Fuck all that. That's just wrong, man. They're human just as well as white people or Arabs or Asians, Indians, Native Americans. Because Indians are actually East Indian. Native Americans are not Indians. They're Native Americans. There's a difference. They're not from India. Anyway. You don't protest your mother. I'm going to protest my mom because, and actually this is where it kind of actually makes sense to you guys. It is really contradicting and mind-rendering to the rest of us normal thinking people, logical thinking people. well, I'm going to protest my mom because, well, she's harder on me than my brothers and sisters, so I ain't going to listen to her, and I'm going to disrespect her, and all that because I'm an asshole kid. I go out there and I steal, and I gangbang, and I've broken into houses, and I'm disrespectful, and I cuss in front of my mom, whereas my siblings listen to her and they're respectful. But she treats me worse. She punishes me more. Because you're an asshole! Do you see the similarity? Oh, wait, let me express this because I know you don't. Same thing with the criminals resisting arrest that are getting shot by police officers. Okay? Now, there have been unjustified police shootings on civilians. I will admit that. But it's not an epidemic like you're making it out to be. The problem are just power-hungry officers and a few racist officers within those power-hungry officers. But there are thousands of good police officers. Get your mind together. Say zombies like to eat brains. And they couldn't think, they were just hungry. You guys realize the similarity? You guys aren't thinking like you're zombies. You're fucking marching and destroying shit and violating people, violating their rights, but then crying when yours are. You feel that they're violated. You guys are mind rendering, man. You'll never win this. You're not going to take freedom from the righteous, the good people. You're not going to enforce rights for criminals, all right? If you resist arrest and you punch a police officer in the face and you scuffle with him and you take his taser, try to take his gun, and you run when you grab his taser and you turn around and fire it at him, he has every right on earth to shoot you. You are in a dire threat to society, especially when you're a criminal that should have never been let out. Use this coronavirus. Bullshit! Stop letting people out of prison when they do heinous crimes. With that being said, I'm getting on with my shit. I got repairs on my house to do. Wake up, Democrats, liberals, racist lives matters. Alright? That's what you are. You're the racist ones. And I'm not saying black, because there are a lot of white people protesting too. I don't care what color they are. I'm talking the movement in itself. It's a hate organization. It's an entitlement organization. It is I want to be able to break the law all I want, and if I don't want to get arrested, you have no right to shoot me if I try attacking you. That's what that movement is. That's it. That's it. Because every person that you're protesting, that's what they did. But you won't protest little kids being shot, innocent elderly people being robbed. You won't protest any of that. Black people that have had to happen. That shows that your Black Lives Matters narrative, yeah, my ear itches, is bullshit. I do believe Black Lives Matters. I believe all lives matter. I believe that we all need to stand as one and do the right thing, which means stop breaking the fucking laws where it starts. That's what you should be protesting. Why don't you go out go protest out there. Stop breaking the law. Law-abiding citizens' lives matters. Doesn't matter whether they're white, black, or whatever. Law-abiding citizens' lives matter. Criminals' lives do not matter. That's what you need to be protesting. Then you'll get respect. Have a good day.